If you have been following our channel for any length of time, we're going to go ahead and tell you this is not the usual Just My DIY tutorial.
I'm Daniel.
I'm Jay-Z.
We have been DIYing our way to our wedding for over a year.
And we are so happy to report that we are finally Mr. and Mrs. Just My DIY. And rather than just diving right into another step-by-step tutorial on a single project that we made for our wedding, we decided to take this opportunity to show you everything that we made for our wedding, which was like 90% of our decor. And we're going to tell you whether or not we would ever make that ever again.
Our scaling is based on a system of 3. The yes, the no, and the maybe. Of course, since we just got back from our honeymoon trip to Hawaii, there's a little bit of an influence to say a double shaka for a yes, we absolutely would. When we're not so sure about it, we're going to say maybe we have to drink about it. And when there's something that just kind of ruined us on the inside a little bit and it gave us nightmares for weeks and months on end, even on our honeymoon, we decided, hey, maybe we would just rather snorkel in lava.
So, to keep it a little interesting, we have not discussed our ratings with each other, and we're also just going to draw all the projects out of this planter here, so there's no specific order to them. We will also say we do have step-by-step footage of all of these. We will be rolling out tutorials on everything, so if something sparks your interest, definitely let us know. We'll prioritize getting that tutorial out sooner rather than later.
All right, we are drawing our first DIY wedding project, and we will see how we feel about Koozies.
Yeah.
Simple project.
It was really easy. I mean, I think we ended up doing some HTV koozies. We ended up doing some sublimations. So they turned out really cute. I think people appreciated them.
Who doesn't appreciate a homemade wedding favor?
Yeah, absolutely.
Next.
All right.
That's
Okay.
right. Turn your head away.
Like I can see in there anyway. We have the hanging driftwood lights.
No, without any hesitation.
1000%.
Now, this did have a lot of time into it, not actually for the entire project. That'd take like a 10-hour drive one day to actually get the driftwood. The result that it had at the wedding was like mind-blowing. Next on our list, ooh, it's a big one.
Uh-oh.
Reclaimed wood signs, including directions, pick a seat any side, and a big schedule.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, there was a lot of time that went into it as well.
And what I really like about those is that that's another project, like anybody can do that project.
Yeah.
And so I think that'll be a really good one for you guys to see as well, because it really does require, we used a Cricut. You don't have to have a Cricut for that, but truly like just some reclaimed wood and some paint, and anyone can have that. And it was such a unique touch to the wedding. Okay, napkin rings.
I feel like there was some stress around these.
So these kind of came about in that we added some extra cocktail tables, so they weren't the normal round tables and they couldn't quite accept the same place settings, but I still want to do something with the tables. They didn't leave me with nightmares, but I don't know that the payoff was big enough for the time investment, but they're also cute, and now we have some cool little coastal napkin rings that we can use. So
yeah, frequently we need those regularly.
Yeah, we use
napkin rings all the time.
We do.
Acrylic bar menu. That was a learning curve.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say I want to do it again. My answer is because no one else could really do it and have it look like that.
It turned out amazing. I love that we were able to get the dogs' faces on there. The only reason I'm going to say I'll have to drink about it is because just for our use case, we didn't have a big drinking crowd. So I think if you have a bigger drinking crowd, I would totally be a double shaka, because that sign turned out amazing. And that video is already out, so we will link that video down below for you guys, because it did turn out beautiful.
I agree.
Moving right along. Oh, no. Okay. I thought this was another one. This is the Driftwood sailboats, which we have featured here on the table. Double shakas. I think they're adorable.
And being able to make them, I mean, it takes a little bit of finesse here and there, but Driftwood was a lot easier to work with than I thought it would. I thought it would like fragile and shatter and break, but it actually came together really nice, and I think they're highly presentable and adorable.
And I'm really looking forward to showing you guys how I ended up doing these sails, because this is actually a no-sew method of doing the sails. So this is a really cool way of doing a fabric project without having to use a sewing machine. So let us know where you want that one in our priority list. Were you just blowing
it's
on
a
that?
sailboat. It's not going anywhere. Fine. I know I'm not appreciated. Hairpins.
Okay.
I refuse to have an opinion on this one.
I'm going to give this one a double shaka. So I made my own pins that went in my hair and just little bitty pearls, one little flower that matched some of these flowers here. I was having a really hard time finding the right things to put in my hair. It was either too shiny, too bridal, or too over the top. I was like, well, hey, I'm a maker. Why not make it? And it turned out that they were not that hard to make. What's in your hair is in every single shot. And so to be able to customize that and to like the result, double shakas all the way. Oh, it's mine. He's like, will you please draw?
I picked your hairpins out, so.
Alrighty. This is the mixing sticks for the bars. So the little stir sticks.
So super easy to make. I mean, like these things are like, once you have the equipment, super easy.
They're made out of acrylic. And the great thing about working with acrylic, there's no prep, no sanding, no painting. Literally, when you have a laser, you put it in there, you cut it, you demask it, and it's done.
Yep.
And that you didn't have to have a mixed drink for those to make sense, because those were also our drink markers. So people knew which cup was theirs.
Yeah.
We promised there were some we would never do again. Those are coming.
Program fans. Much like the cards that we are using right now.
They looked exactly like this.
It's so hot out here.
These are super easy to make, and you need no technology to make them. You don't need a Cricut. You don't need anything more than like a paper cutter and a printer. Hexagon sign stand.
For our experience, I'm going to give this a solid, I need to drink about it. So a lot of this was done on the laser, and the laser maybe needed some calibration, some cleaning, some other things. It had a difficult time connecting all of the hexagons in a way that made it an easy, and so for that reason I feel like we had to compromise on its appearance just a little bit. There was also a time crunch, so I feel like I could have done a lot better job on the stand, though the job I did do on the stand I think came out to match the hexagon theme fairly fairly head on. The
laser misbehaved, full disclosure, that was user error. But it also just didn't have the impact because it was so see-through. It just didn't have the impact, I think. But you did a beautiful job on your part.
Oh, I got two.
Take one.
No.
Just one.
I'll take whatever I want. Ring box. Ring box. All right, so the benefit to those wasn't truly there. Like, it's a nice thing to have, but it was like, okay, maybe the description on the acrylic was a bit hard to see. It's gorgeous and it made for a great photo, which is probably the point, but we don't really use it other than that. But we have a video on it, so if you're enamored with it, check out that video. We'll link it down below. It's your turn. Okay. All right. The compotes, of which we have one right here, and we'll give you a really pretty photo. You'd rather snorkel in lava? Told you we didn't discuss this ahead of time. Oh my gosh! These compotes are faux. And for what they are, they're extremely pretty and put together extremely intelligently. However, I cannot tell you how many days out of the week I had to listen to the television YouTube thing going on and on and on and on. This video could end in infinity. How do you say that? Infinite? It will never end. There is no end to it. How many hours went into trying to learn how to make them?
Okay. I'm going to press pause because that was actually bouquet making. So I think that he is having a halo effect on how many videos I watched about bouquets. The compotes were actually super easy to make. And I am in love with how they turned out. I'm actually going to put some of these around the house so he gets to stare at them. Yes, they are faux, but I think they are gorgeous. We got so many compliments on them.
I have no argument against the faux. It's the mind-sucking videos day after day, month after month. When we say we've been at this for almost a year or over a year, that is absolutely right, and that was most of the year.
I ran out of YouTube videos on flower making.
Moving on.
Moving on.
HTV pillows.
So we actually don't have any photos of these. We need to rate them. Wait.
First of all, yeah, this is legit.
Double shaka. Yeah. Okay. So
we've been doing this so long that this was like the easiest thing.
Yes. So you guys know we rented a beach house for a weekend, and that was base of operations. We did our welcome dinner there. We got married on the beach in front of the house. We had our reception at the house on the balcony. So we thought decorating the living space of the house was important, and so we made these beachy, wedding-y kind of pillows for the couches, and we had some really great feedback on them.
And effort for reward, it was spot on.
Yeah,
Let's do it again.
And now we have pillows that say, "I will always love you."
Get it? Whale. I whale.
Okay.
Always love you.
Moving on.
Get it?
Moving on. They get it. They get it. Okay. Reserve signs.
You know, it's much like the other sign. It's a piece of wood that I maybe used an angle grinder on to give it some aging effects. And
super easy. You can probably buy those at like Hobby Lobby for like $10, but we had the paint, we had the wood. Super easy.
Acrylic welcome sign.
That's this thing behind us.
There was many steps. I'm gonna say
What did you give it? I am going to give it double shakas. This was a huge learning curve for us, but it is gorgeous, and it got used ceremony and reception, so I think we got a lot of legs out of it.
We got a lot of distance out of it for sure. One of the struggles is while putting the copper together, maybe the tutorial that we followed.
Yeah, it wasn't the greatest.
Yeah.
It's harder than it looks. I will say it's harder than it looks, but I love the way that it turned out.
Yeah,
I think I'm just in love with everything we made for our wedding, so I give everything high ratings. Oh, I took 2. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Cake topper. So we're going to have to blur out part of this because this is one of the few things that has our last name on it.
Ease versus reward.
Yeah, it's laser. We did have to figure out how to food-proof plywood, because you don't want to just stick plywood in food, but we did find a really interesting way to do that, and we will do a plywood cake topper that doesn't have our last name on it, so we will do a video on that for you guys. But that was
super easy, and again, the reward.
For sure.
No peeking. World Travel Map Guest Book Set. On the count of 3. 1, 2.
Refer to my earlier comment where I was totally in love with so many things. Why will you? No, actually, I'm going to change my rating. I am going to drink about this one.
Now you have to explain yourself first.
There are a lot of redos on this. I think trying to figure it out. I love the way that this turned out 1000%. And now that we figured it out, if you follow our tutorial and we tell you exactly how to do it, you can have a really cool guest book really easily. And so I think you would give yours a double shaka.
But I mean, it came out with a great effect.
Yes.
It was very unique. and it kind of fit us.
Toasting glass markers.
Again, one of those acrylic
Easy.
Projects. Throw it in the laser, do its job.
Acrylic everything. And we had a couple of different ones that we used throughout the night. Like our bigger glasses we had on our head table were so nice. They were the bride and the groom ones. The little toasting ones that we had on the cake table, Mr. and Mrs. Just anything acrylic is so quick, so easy. Absolutely love those projects.
Word.
Let's go.
Aisle lanterns.
I knew you were going to say that. So why did you say I'll have to drink about it?
So the lanterns are from Dollar Tree, right?
The vases are from Dollar Tree.
Yeah, the vases themselves of the lanterns are from Dollar Tree.
Yes.
And those things were inconsistent. We had to go back to the store so many times
That's
in order to get the ones that were consistent.
Yes.
And then we had one problem after the next. It just had to be resolved
But
here and
that's
resolved
DIY.
there. And I get that.
That's DIY.
But no matter how many times you repeat this process, you have to do every single one of those things again. And there is no learning curve available on this one.
But here's the thing. That was actually inspired by this high-end destination wedding that we saw on Pinterest. And we nailed it. We nailed that look. We got these beautiful lanterns that we made for mere dollars. And so I am going to give those high marks every single day. All right. And Ocean Resin Favors.
Go on.
I'll have to, these turned out amazing. I think that people appreciated the handmade nature of them. They ended up being ornaments because our wedding was going to be in November. It's the time involved in them that I think just gives me that I'll have to drink about it.
Yeah, we've been doing ocean resin effects for so long.
Yeah.
That despite how long they took, the quality that came out, the appearance of the ocean was exactly as we wanted. We had the sand, the waves coming in on the sand, the lasering on the back. Give me one.
I haven't gotten a lava one yet, I don't think.
Welcome bag tags.
3, 2, 1. That's a yes. These are super easy. Done with a Cricut. Done in a night. I mean, these are so easy that I was actually able to print and cut these at home and then hand them off to my amazing bridal party to put them together on site. They're beautiful. They were on brand for the wedding and they had a great impact without being too much of a time investment. Okay. Koozie Sand.
Yeah, we brought up the Koozies earlier, right? And so the Koozies were cute. I'm going to go ahead and give her ruling on this because she obviously had much more to do with this than I did. So I'm going to let her talk.
This was my first buy-a-file that needed to be put together on the Glowforge, and it didn't fit together very well, and I just don't know that it had that big of an impact. I think the Koozies could have gone in a basket or something else and been just as appreciated. And so I think just from a time investment and impact, now we have a Koozie stand that we're going to have to do something with.
She made me downrate it.
Yeah, it's cute, but does anybody need a Koozie stand?
Apparently not.
Draw.
Chair garlands. Yeah, time and effort on that one.
Yes.
That was lasering them out, probably not that big of a deal. The painting, the sanding, the sewing, the tying them.
The sewing?
You had to sew them all together.
Stringing.
Sorry.
We're sewing wood over here now. So these were, I think they were cute. I think they added a nice touch. It was a way to add an extra wood element to the chairs at the reception. I think they looked great, but I don't think that they were an event mover overall. Yeah,
by no means do I think any project that we did ever failed on its decorative asset to the. It was just effort versus reward. Yeah. I'd imagine if we had like 300 people.
We would not have done wooden garlands for every chair.
Is it mine? What do we have? Driftwood Balls. This is hands down.
Yes!
Hands down.
Yes!
No. Mine trumps. Mine trumps. Nope.
Okay. This one deserves a moment. I'm going to let him talk first.
No. This one deserved, like, being lit on fire and launching a trebuchet. These things are actually faux driftwood balls that used to be crepe myrtles, but they've tried to me, so it's fine.
I don't think you can say that word.
We have to start this one over. It took so much time in my life. Just so much time. So much. No.
These did take a lot of time, but the impact of these, they turned out to be everything I wanted and more, and they're just beautiful, and I like want them to have a place like in our lives forever because I absolutely love the way that they turned out, and he does not want to see them, so they are in boxes right now downstairs.
There is only one impact those things deserve. And that's with a baseball bat, okay?
It's okay. We're going to work through the trauma of the driftwood balls.
I'm going to go get some counseling.
It's okay. It's okay.
God dang.
Y'all, they're amazing, and I love them so much. So much. Boutonnieres.
Let's go back to the goods.
Yes.
This was her idea. And everybody who saw them was like, that is like next level.
And these were such a last minute audible because the boutonnieres were not supposed to be starfish. I ended up not being able to make the boutonnieres that I wanted to make and ended up seeing these and saying, you know what, I think that this could work. We added some magnets to them. We did some things to reinforce the starfish, which we will show you in a video. And they turned out just more amazing than I could have ever imagined in my head. I'm so glad that we did them, and I'm so glad that everybody liked them.
Absolutely. Sublimation signs, the beach ball toss, unplugged sign, and program sign. So easy to make.
Yeah, sublimation all the way. This is the quickest signs you will ever make. Like, painting's great, but sublimation is even faster.
Now, we brought up that hexagon background stand again.
Yeah.
This is actually what supported these signs. You know, maybe the thing supporting them could have been better, but them themselves.
Yeah, you can add color and everything else in them so easily. So, reclaimed wood stands. We had the stands for the driftwood balls that I loved, as well as the altar that our officiant used. Yes. So easy to make. Yes.
You can save yourself a lot of money by just using something like a fence. But again, like all this stuff will be in a video that covers it.
Yes.
But designing them, putting them together, staining them, like such an easy and yet like personality filled object to have.
We use old fence boards is what we use that we actually had from our fence, and that just saved us so much money, and they were so functional, and they were used at the ceremony and the reception. The card box.
I didn't really touch this one.
I'm going to say yes. I'm going to say double shaka to this one. This was not a from scratch DIY. Thank you for agreeing with me. He's such a good husband already. So this was a modification. We bought the clear acrylic card box on Amazon, and then we modified it with some paint and vinyl using our Cricut. And it was such an easy way to make it fit our wedding without having to build something from scratch. So we will show you that video, and hopefully you like it.
Bouquets.
He just hates all things flowers, and I love all things flowers. I will say The bouquets were really, really hard for me to make because even though I watched a lot of videos, even though I knew what I was trying to make, I ended up disassembling my bouquet in particular many, many times before I finally landed on the look that I wanted. And the bouquets are important because it will be in like 80% of the photos that the bride is in. So you really have to make sure that you like what you make. I was adamant that I wanted to make my own bouquet because I wanted it to be exactly what I wanted. And I am in love with the bouquet that I made. And I can't wait to show you guys my process that I went through to get to a bouquet that I am obsessed with.
I guess that's actually me.
Gonna make you make more driftwood balls.
No, you're not.
Aha!
Which one is this?
Hexagon cake stand.
This was actually a really long-winded project. The step-by-step process it takes to be able to get that to be able to happen was not easy. I'm not a woodworker, but we all loved how that turned out. Like, it came out better than I thought it could have.
It is gorgeous. Daniel did 99% of that project. I did the staining on it. That is it. I am so proud of that work, and we will literally cherish this piece for our entire marriage.
Yeah.
So thank you for making us something so beautiful.
Well, thank you for being beautiful.
Oh.
We have gold foil candle holders. I saw the results. I didn't do the work.
If you can tell, there was a little bit of dividing and conquering, especially as the wedding got closer. I had a really hard time kind of pulling the centerpieces together, but my amazing wedding planner, which we will definitely link him down below, Weddings and Events by Jeff, down in Pensacola, was so awesome. I sent him a photo of the centerpieces as I was starting to pull them together on the tables, and he's like, you know what you need? You need some gold. And I was like, I don't have any gold, Jeff. But I did have some glassware from actually Goodwill that I had found because that's a great place to find some glassware. And I did have some gold leaf. And so I ended up adding some gold leaf to some of the glassware from Goodwill. And it ended up having this really unique and kind of eclectic look for some candle holders. And I love the way that those turned out. And his team did an amazing job of setting everything up. It was very fast and inexpensive, which fast and inexpensive and high impact is just exactly what you want for a wedding DIY.
Absolutely, I concur.
And we are down to our last one.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know. I don't even know what's left, but it's going to come down to the invitations.
Thank you for finally having a hateful moment against something we did. Thank you.
This is my snorkel in lava.
Oh, Lord, help me count the ways.
Okay. I love how our invitations turned out. We got so many compliments on them, and it is true. The invitations set the tone for your wedding. All of that is true. For a very small micro wedding, it took us over 3 weeks to do our invitations, and that is just too long. The time investment on them, from the printing to the sealing to the cutting and the folding and the gluing, I think there's a lot better ways than like literally doing them completely yourself.
There was about 10 too many 2 a.m.s that we both saw.
Yeah. So when we actually watched videos that said the invitations take way too much time, we're like, no, we'll be fine. The invitations take way too much time.
Absolutely.
But we love how they turned out, and they were beautiful. And he won't even agree with that. Thank you all so much for watching our special edition of Just My DIY and our wedding DIY recap.
We hope you liked the video, and if you did, you should give it the thumbs up. If you think any of these projects are something you want to see sooner than later, give us a shout in the comment line and let us know about it. You should subscribe and ring the bell to be notified when any of these projects do come to our YouTube channel. And any project that we have already done on the YouTube channel will actually be listed down in the description.
Also in the description are links to all of our social handles. Please connect with us across platforms. We love hearing from you. And don't forget to check out our blog at justmydiy.com. Thanks for watching.